Hello, welcome back to the Audiofile-Incar. Today's video is to explain the difference between Defender Ultimate Audio and Defender Ultimate DSP. So the difference, of course, is the DSP, Digital Sound Processor. So the Ultimate Audio has been around for a long time, and that consists of the focal two-way components up front. So you've got the tweeter in the top of the dash, you've got the mid in the bottom of the dash, you've got a passive crossover in here. Then you have a 5-channel amplifier. This incidentally is the DSP version. And we install a woofer in the front of the seat box. Now, the reason why we introduced the Ultimate the Ultimate Audio was to introduce these woofers. And that's because when you have a subwoofer on the back of the console or under the rear seat, and you have a 4-inch speaker on the dash here, you have a frequency response issue. It means that if you roll these off, or roll them in at about 125 hertz, to get a linear response, you've got to roll your woofer off at 125 hertz. And anybody that's into their sound will know you don't want a subwoofer behind you playing up to 125 hertz. You can have all sorts of colorations, bits of vocal coming through there. The bass is going to become really directional. Having said that, the premium audio, which uses this configuration, still very well received. Most people love it, and it's great value. We brought in the Ultimate to add the mid bass to solve that problem. So this is a band pass driver that basically gives you all your kick or your punch. So this is running from, I believe, about 80 hertz up to about 180 hertz. And that just gives you that mid bass in front of the vehicle. It's not under the seat like a BMW, it's in the front facing forward, so you get loads of lovely mid bass. Then you've got your mid, then you've got a tweeter. It enables us to get a really good front end response, coupled with a subwoofer to give us the low frequencies. But we want to do something a little bit better, and that's why we developed the Ultimate DSP. So the Ultimate DSP shares exactly the same speaker configuration: the tweeters, the mids, the woofers, and a subwoofer in the back. So it's a 6-inch subwoofer on the back of the console. In a Defender 90 and a Defender 110, it would be a 6-inch subwoofer underneath that seat. There are, of course, options to upgrade to an 8-inch woofer, a 10-inch woofer, or a 12-inch woofer, but they are boot mounted or on the side rather than underneath the seat. In the Ultimate DSP, we've added an amplifier which has a digital sound processor built in. So that allows us to digitally time align the positions of the front speakers in relation to the driver. So in other words, we're delaying the sound from the driver's side speakers to meet you at the same time as the sound from the passenger side speakers. This gives the effect for the driver of a really strong center image. So instead of sitting over to one side in the car, which you of course are in all cars, it gives the illusion that you're sitting in the middle, or the sound stage is right bang here in the center. It has an amazing effect. It's not just about time alignment, it's also about being able to equalize the sound, tune the system to the car. That works really well. So in this instance, we use the Audison Forza M511. So it's runs the front end of the system. The rear fill speakers still run from the factory head unit as normal, or in fact, it's not the factory head unit, it's a Pioneer doubled in this case. This customer had Ultimate Audio, and he came along to have an upgrade to Ultimate DSP. So it means we've used the same amplifier mount. This is our French cleat, so it's a very clever little device that we fabricate. You've got one piece of wood there, ply, you've got another piece of ply underneath, they've got angled plimps on, and the amplifier drops on and locks in place. Quite a clever bit of fabrication. It also makes it very serviceable. You undo one screw, the whole mechanism comes apart and you can lift it out. So there's our 5.11 amplifier. It's using mostly existing wiring, so it's pretty straightforward to upgrade from the Ultimate Audio to the Ultimate DSP. Once we've installed the amplifier, we use a piece of software to tune it. So that comes with the Audison amplifier. It's a new bit of bit drive software. It's nice and easy to use. And actually what we've pulled up there is the mid-bass driver in the front. And you can see we've done a bit of work on the response of the mid-bass driver. You can see how the EQs work there. So we can EQ each speaker one at a time. So for want of a better word, it's a really clever graphical parametric EQ. And it enables us to tune the sounds of the car and to tune the response of the drivers. These woofers work particularly well because we put them in the seat box, we soundproof everything around it on the outside, inside of the subwoofer, the lid. So you've got quite an effective enclosure here, generating quite a bit of mid-bass. But as you can see, had a little bit of a boom around 80 hertz, so we've just pulled that down a little bit. And then we've done a little bit of work on the mids, and then you've got the woofer there as well. So you can see all the channels that are driven by the amplifier. This bit at the top here represents a passive crossover, which is in between the focal, mid and tweeter. You could take it to the next stage and use the next amplifier up, But the beautiful thing about this amplifier is it produces a whole heap of power to the bass. It's a great little amp for this front stage setup. So there you go. That is hopefully explains the difference between the Ultimate Audio and the Ultimate DSP. It is of course a DSP, but to achieve the DSP we change a whole amplifier. And the way things are moving forward, we tend to use all amplifiers now with integrated DSPs rather than an amplifier of a separate DSP that we would have done several years ago. The reasons for that are ease of installation, smaller footprint. Most importantly for me, you get rid of the phono cables in between the processor and the amplifier. They are always cause for concern. If we ever have a failure, and we do get the odd failure, bearing in mind we've got literally thousands of systems out there, if a phono cable breaks down and you've got 6 in each install, you're going to have an audio fault. So with the new type of amplifiers with the integrated DSP, that gets rid of that problem. There you go. You've got any questions, feel free to post underneath or comment, and I'll try my best to get back to you as quick as I can. I do try and reply to all the comments, but sometimes we get lots over a weekend and we get a little bit behind. Oh, I forgot to show you the DRC controller. So this little controller here will enable you to turn up and down the sub bass and also change the listening position. So we'll program 2 profiles in here, one for the driver, one for a neutral listening experience for everybody in the vehicle, and that's all done through this controller. And that controller is sort of configured via this DSP software as well. You can even change the color of the LEDs, you can program the brightness, we can program it to go to sleep when it's not being used, all sorts of funky stuff. So there you go, the Ultimate Audio DSP, the next step in our Land Rover Defender audio upgrades that are so popular. We want to keep things moving. We are expecting a new focal front component set that's going to be released in about another month, so that's going to be around about November 2023, so keep your eyes open for that. I think we've got 24 sets of them on order, so we will be slowly moving towards the new components once they're available. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. You may have noticed the sneaky mood lighting going on here, something else we've just added to this Defender. You've got mood lighting underneath here in the kick wells and all in the back section. It's quite funky. Thanks for watching.